Welcome to the episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some reality TV news that has been released a little bit over the last few weeks. And then I'm going to give you guys a little bit of tea about Perfect Match Season 3. And then I'm going to share with you guys every show that's coming out in September. And I'm going to ask the question to all of you guys, which show would you like me to cover right here on the Love in Reality podcast? But without further ado, you probably want the tea first, right? You want the tea, I'm sure. But before we get in there, folks, if you're listening here on podcast platforms, could you do me a favor? Give me a 5-star review, leave a comment, tell me how much you love me, how much you hate me. It doesn't matter. Comments are comments. I would greatly appreciate it. It goes a long way in supporting the Love in Reality podcast. And of course, if you're here on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Give me a little like, give me a little comment, give me all the works. I do greatly appreciate everybody that tunes in to each of every week of this podcast. I do know that there is some shows that I cover that are more popular than others, but I hope that if you're listening, if you came in from Love is Blind UK, that you stick around for a little while just to see some of the other shows that I do cover here on the Love and Reality podcast. Or if you have any suggestions at all, any at all, I am more than willing to watch any reality TV show out in the land. Let me know in the comments below. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter. Let's see, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Ricky Valera _. Also on Instagram at the Love and Reality Podcast. I think it's actually at Love and Reality Pod. Comment. Let me know what shows you want me covering here. Obviously, we're a little bit of a lull. We have some stuff coming up, but I want to cover what you want to hear here. I don't want to cover just what I like to watch. I want you to hear what I want you guys to listen to what you want me to recap as well, because I love reality TV. I love diving into this world with you guys. But without further ado, let's talk a little bit of tea. Perfect Match is getting ready to or has begun production. Okay, I've got this on a good source, let me tell you, has informed me that we are on the verge of being on the verge of recording or filming, or it is about to start. Now, just one more little piece of tea for you guys. I've heard that they're casting people from other networks for this season of Perfect Match. Now, just throwing that out there. Just tossing it out there for you guys to listen to. Definitely interesting. Would love to hear your thoughts on who you would love to see in Perfect Match Season 3. Let me know in the comments below. All right, folks, Love is Blind and Perfect Match. Izzy Zapata is catching strays from his ex-girlfriend, Shelby Webb, who went on a podcast with his ex-fiancée, Stacy from Love is Blind, to talk about his cheating on her. Adultish Wines is the name of the podcast. On there, she said she found out he was cheating after a girl sent her some nudes of the two together. Apparently hooked up with the girl at a party, not once, but twice in one night. Is he catching strays? And is Izzy staying quiet about it? No, he is not. He's posting all over his social media, kind of mocking the idea of Stacy and Shelby coming after him, which is kind of crazy to think about. But that whole tangle web we weave, folks, it is insane. The drama never stops, right? It never does. But if you remember, right here on the Love and Reality podcast, I had Izzy talking on the podcast. I interviewed him talking about Perfect Match, and he had said that he was ring shopping for this girl. So that's a little bit of drama. It's definitely interesting. There's two sides of every story, but it doesn't look good for Izzy right now, but he seems to be taking it in stride. But speaking of Stacy, good friend here of the Love and Reality podcast, and myself, she stepped out with a new girlfriend. So congratulations to her for coming out and on this next phase of her life. I hope she's happy and stays happy and all those things in between. So very, 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 very happy for Stacy. And as the drama turns here in the world of Netflix and all of their love-based reality shows. In some sad news, disappointing news, Artem Chigvintsev, I don't know how to say his name. He's from Dancing with the Stars. Nikki Bella's husband was booked by the sheriff's deputy at Napa County, California on Thursday under a California penal code that makes it illegal to injure a spouse, cohabitant, or fellow parent in an act of domestic violence. Artem has been since bailed out on $25,000. Nikki was seen a few days after the event with after the arrest, getting on a plane without her wedding ring on. My thoughts go out to Nikki and of course their little one. Nobody deserves to be touched at all. Men hitting women is something that is just absolutely distasteful and gross. But it's sad news, and I hope Nikki is okay. More news in the world of breakups. Brittany has filed for divorce from Jax Taylor, which isn't shocking. But what is interesting is the fact that this is being filmed for The Valley. So all of this is going to play out on the show, which is pretty crazy. I can expect, Taylor has come out and said that it's amicable and these two have been up and down, but good for Brittany on coming out and speaking her piece and kind of, I guess, breaking free. You know what I mean? It's not easy to break free from that situation. You know what I mean? Like it's hard, and it's really good for her to really do her own thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm super happy for her. You know what I mean? Like it's important. She's come out. She feels like a new person. She looks great. Again, just super happy for her, super duper excited. And but yeah, in a recent post, I think he posted it today for sure. Jax posted on his Instagram a picture of himself. He said, a little over a month ago, I checked into an intensive inpatient treatment facility, scared of the unknown and what I found out about myself. After many years of knowing something was wrong, but not knowing exactly what it was, I recently learned that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and PTSD. It's been a lot to process and emotional time for me. However, I'm coming home to my son with a newfound sense of peace. I'd be lying to say if I wasn't scared for the future, but my focus is just trying to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday. Mental health is a lifelong battle of not letting it control you, but rather learning to control it. Thank you for everyone who'd reached out and support and who also shared their personal struggles with me. Your message have helped me more than you know. Yeah, I mean, first off, I just want to say I hope nothing but the best for Jax. I mean, you can't um it's not fun. You know what I mean? It's good that he's seeking help. It's good to see that he has a problem. He understands that he has a problem. Hopefully that in understanding that he is trying to turn over, I guess you could say, a new leaf, to be a better dad. That's the most important thing about this entire thing is being a dad. You know what I mean? Like it's the relationship factor aside, it doesn't matter. Like their son is number one. Co-parenting and ensuring that he's got the best life for him moving from this day forward is all that's important. So it's nothing but good vibes sent Jax's way because it is something much needed. So congratulations to him for that. Sad to hear about the divorce, but it looks like it's amicable and things are going to go both their separate ways. But like I said, we should watch that play out in the Valley, which should be quite interesting to watch unfold. All right. September. Actually, before we jump into that, folks, I don't know if you're watching The Anonymous. Okay, I've been recapping The Anonymous on my YouTube channel. I haven't transferred over to the podcast quite yet because I was covering Love Is Blind, so I was doing one. I try not to bombard the podcast and just have you guys listen to what's tuning in weekly here. But The Anonymous is a show that is on the USA Network Mondays at 11 p.m. There's been 5 episodes so far. The show airs on Mondays, and then the following Monday arrives on Peacock. It's from the producers of The Traitors in the Circle. It's a new strategic competition played in 2 worlds, the real world and anonymous mode. 12 players live together, collaborating for a $100,000 prize while secretly competing in anonymous online hideouts. In the high-stakes game of deception, players scheme, lie, and manipulate their way to victory to maintain their secret identities. This is by far one of my favorite new reality TV shows that we have seen in recent time. I love it. 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 It's a mix of like the mole, the circle, the traitors, Big Brother, all in one. It's cutthroat. It's backstabbing. Each episode is played day by day. So one day in one show, you get an elimination, a competition, a chat, anonymous chat where people throwing people under the bus, people throwing people up on the block, and then elimination the following episode. It's every episode we're seeing somebody go home. There's twists and turns. If you're not watching, you're really missing out. I promise you that. All right. But for September, folks, we have stuff coming out in September, a loaded slate of reality TV. Season two of, hang on one second here, guys. I forget the Outlast. Season two of Outlast is coming to Netflix. It starts September the 4th. If you didn't watch season one, you should check out season two. I did like that show quite a bit. I don't know if I'm going to be watching this one, though. Silent Sunset season eight's coming. There's been a lot of drama surrounding that show coming September 6th. I haven't really kept up to date with the tea there, but if you have, give me the Cliff Note version in the comments below. Would love that. Coming over at Hulu, September 6th, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. A group of Mormon mom influencers implodes when they get caught in the midst of a swinging sex scandal. Oh, that might be appetizing, right? That sounds like a little bit of a fun show. Maybe we'll have to dive into that one. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to check that one out. There's Circle Season 7. It's coming back really rapidly. Cannot believe they have not announced the cast for that yet. We're 9 days out, no cast announcement. They just released about a week and a half ago the trailer for the like a teaser trailer, not even a full trailer. I would expect that the trailer is dropped either tomorrow or Wednesday, though, with the full cast listing. They promise to be the most twisted season of the show yet. Let's see here. September 17th, Dancing with the Star returns. It's going to be a big season. I have heard that Jess from Love is Blind is potentially on the season, which would be interesting, I think. Definitely be possibly good to see her on there. Try to get her face out there a little bit more. I'm a big fan of Jess. The Golden Bachelorette. Of course, we had the Golden Bachelor last year, which ended up being kind of a dud after the dude was a little bit of a dick, I think it was. But Golden Bachelorette is coming September the 18th. The Voice returns on September 23rd. It's like season like 26. I can't believe there's been that many seasons of that show. The Masked Singer is coming on 9/25 on Fox, followed by Hell's Kitchen on 9/26 on Fox as well. And then we have, did I say Survivor? No, Survivor. I missed Survivor. Survivor's returning for its 47th season on September 18th. Folks, I am planning on covering this season of Survivor. I might do it on the podcast. We'll see. Kind of depends on how you guys feel about it here. We'll talk about that. Like I said, if you guys got some shows for me to cover, let me know. But that's one of the shows I'm thinking about covering here on the podcast. It returns on September the 18th. And then on CBS as well, we have the debut of The Summit. 16 strangers will embark on a once-in-a-lifetime journey through a treacherous of New Zealand Alps in a mountain, an attempt to reach the peak of a distant towering mountain with their backpacks containing an equal share of $1 million. The group must traverse an exhausting distance in just 14 days in order to win the cash they are carrying. But not everyone will make it, as these strangers must work together to tackle the dangerous terrain, unforgiving Antarctic winds, heart-pounding challenges, and gut-wrenching eliminations on the way to the peak. Tracking them along the journey is the Mountain's Keeper, who will surprise the trekkers with brutal twists and forced decisions that complicate an already grueling ascent. Morals and relationship will be tested when they must decide what to do if someone falls behind. Because if the group fails to reach the summit in time, all the prize money will be lost. Whew. First off, that was a mouthful. But second off, that sounds pretty intense. I'm kind of excited about that. I won't lie. I might have to check that one out for you, for real, for real. But yeah, those are some of the big shows coming in September. I'm very excited because in October, The House of Villains is returning. I was a lukewarm on the first season, but I don't know. It's just like a lot of drama, a lot of fun. Definitely feel like it's something I'm going to be covering here on the podcast. But that is it for this week's episode of the Love and Reality Podcast. Folks, make sure to check out the YouTube channel right now. I am covering The Anonymous, followed by sharing my weekly interviews with the person that is eliminated from the show. So you might want to check those out as well. Thank you guys so much for continuing the support of the Love and Reality Podcast. And I'll talk to you guys next week.